What's up, everyone? How you doing? Welcome to our second melody video of all time here on my Patreon page. Today we're looking at a great fiddle tune called Big Sciota, and it's a tune that's in the key of G major and super popular in old-time circles as well as bluegrass. So a good tune to know for sure. It's a sweet tune for a couple of reasons. One is in the A part, we're working up the D and G strings, getting into what a teacher of mine called the danger zone, kind of this area, murky area in the middle part of the fingerboard. And then we're also getting into pre-thumb position. That's how I would kind of be calling it. It's like not quite thumb position, but we're using some techniques from thumb position. And for those of you who haven't heard that before, we call it thumb position because we actually use our thumb when we get to the higher part of the bass. So we're getting into that area in this A part. And the B part's cool because we are using all four strings of the bass, going down to the E string at the very end of the phrase. So good amount of string crossing there. And it's just a super fun tune and lays out super well on the bass. In fact, it lays out so well that we don't really have to make any adjustments with our right hand fingers. If you remember with CNN's reel, there were a couple moments where we couldn't do our middle pointer, back and forth situation on eighth notes. In this tune, it works out every time. So anytime there's a little eighth note run, we hit the downbeat with our pointer finger and then the offbeat with our middle. Couldn't be any easier. So really excellent. So we're just going to go through this tune, I should say, phrase by phrase, and just take it a little bit at a time. So here's the first phrase of the A part. Notice how my left hand is very, very stretched. Not like painfully so, but just comfortably. Not having to move my hand at all to get all these notes. We're in first position, you know? Just like that. That's the position we're in right now. So again, first phrase. Second phrase is super similar. Here's both together. So pretty straightforward so far. The notes we're using, D, E, G, A, B, all borrowed from the G major scale. And the third and fourth phrases of this A part are a little bit trickier. This is where we get into that danger zone and the pre-thumb position situation. So what we're doing is while we're playing that open G string on the third phrase, we're shifting our hand all the way to where our thumb is resting on that wood block. Bring it as far down as possible until it stops on the fingerboard, on the neck. And then we place our pinky down on the D string, and we should generally get that B note on the D string, or somewhere close to it. You can adjust as necessary, but that's the note you should be getting there. So, again, slide the hand on the open string, and you're set to hit that B. And now we're in this little rectangular danger zone position where we're going to play B, D, E. That's D on the G string and E on the G string. So we're into this little box now, using that open string as a transitional point for the left hand. So we're ending on the E. The start of the fourth phrase, you get to the F sharp on the G string. And what we're going to do is use our second finger there, just a whole step away from that E. It could be a bit of a weird shift, so if you need to, practice that shift separately. Just get used to how that feels. Don't worry if it's out of tune for a while, just practice it until it's more consistently in tune. So second finger on that F sharp, and third finger on the G. The third finger on the G makes sense because we're in this semi-thumb position situation. And in thumb position, we use the third finger, our ring finger, instead of our pinky. Pinky is not really used in thumb position as often. And another thing, my elbow is up. Make sure your elbow doesn't touch the wood there, because we want to train our left elbow to stay up so we have access into thumb position as we get more into it. So F sharp with our second, G with our third, and the elbow is up on the left arm. Okay? So that's the beginning of the fourth phrase. Then we come back to our danger zone position. Again, let that thumb rest in the crevice. That's going to help big time. Okay? E, D, and then B, A, G. Again, we're staying in that rectangle and using the open string. And we can bring our hand back after that phrase. So here's the A part in full. There you go. So again, feel free to ask any questions you might have. This is a little bit tricky, so really don't be afraid to reach out via messages, via the Patreon page or app, and we'll move on to the B part. B part's simpler because we're not actually moving our hand. Our left hand is pretty much staying stationary the entire time in that first position kind of G major scale. So first phrase is this. That's D, E, G, G, A, B, A, G, A. All those running eighth notes, we're back and forth with the right hand. Okay. Second phrase, similar notes. And we're introducing that F sharp on the D string that goes down to the E. First two phrases together. Just like that. So pretty straight ahead. Third phrase goes like this. That's E, F sharp, G, G, A, B, E, D, E. Last phrase is where we come down on the A string and the E string to finish it off. That's F sharp, G, E, D, B, A, G. So in ways easier, but want to maintain that balance between the four strings and make sure you have a nice even pointer finger, middle finger going on the right hand. So play the entire B part and then I'll play the whole tune. Yeah, folks. So that's the big Sciota. And I'll give you the whole thing, and then I'll talk a little bit about what we're going to do in the weeks ahead. Oh, and feel free to practice this starting slowly. It could be anywhere from 60 beats per minute to 80 beats per minute, whatever you feel comfortable with. Even slower if you like, give it a shot. And then just slowly increase from there. 5 beats per minute per 3 or 4 cycles around the tune. It's perfect. 1, 2, 3. Here's the B part. Oh yeah, everyone, big Sciota, and shoot back to the beginning of that video if you want to hear at least a little snippet of me playing it up to speed and adding my own little variations. So awesome! And next week we're going to be working on bow playing. We're going to start working on how to hold it, some different things, different variables you're going to run into while playing with the bow, and we're going to then move on to some shuffle bowing techniques on the bass lines week, learn a fiddle tune with the bow on the melody week, and have some exercises as well. So, what the heck? I'm going to play the tune one more time. It's super fun. I'll play it up to tempo, add my own little spin, and eventually we're going to start working on how to improvise on these kind of fiddle tunes. So give a little bit of my own gestures, shall we say. So here's the big Sciota. I'll send you out on it, and I'll see you next week, folks. 1, 2, 3.